into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Yeah, Beasties, welcome back to the Season 3, Episode 2 after show for Beauty and the Beast. And if you notice, I am not sitting alone today. Yay! We will introduce our co-host in 2 seconds, but before I do, I just want to remind you, if you are not doing it now, you can stream live watching us. So podcasters, that's you. Next time, watch us live on YouTube. Also, take a moment to subscribe to our channel and, of course, follow us lovely hosts. I am your host, Alikona Bradford. You can follow me at BoysandBeauty01, and I will explain all of that later, but let's get into our lovely new co-host.
Hi guys, this feels so good to be here. I'm Janeisha John. I'm really excited to be on board Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, what's your Twitter handle?
Oh, I'm at Janeisha Miss VI. So, yeah.
All right, so take a moment, pick up your phones if you are watching live, because you get to join in the conversation. You're still my co-host this week. You can join in by hashtagging ABTVBATB. It's a mouthful. But make sure you tweet at us, the handles we just gave you, and join in on the hashtag. Give me your topics, questions, stuff you want us to talk about, all in your lovely smartphone. All right, so let's get into the show. Great show tonight.
It was.
Let's start with the primal instinct. It's, I felt like it was so relatable for us ladies. I mean, maybe you're dealing with a beast at home, but even if you're not, it's that whole commitment issue that we were dealing here with.
Yep.
I gotta be honest with you, the last person I thought would have that issue was Vincent.
I know.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's a guy. At the end of the day, he is a guy. And, unfortunately for him, like those primal instincts, they come out. So you see that he's nervous. You see that he has, issues with commitment. Other guys can, they can kind of mask that a little bit. So
yeah, I just, I felt like I wanted Vincent to be, he's our Prince Charming.
He is.
So, but I think it's cool the way the producers did work that into the show because, again, like I said, it's relatable. So having somebody have these man issues, it's super heightened now because, his fingernails grow and stuff.
And he starts to snarl and his eyes. Oh my goodness.
Right.
It was a little surprising, like you said. But I was just like, you know what? I get it. Guys have these issues when it comes to commitment. Not as much women, but guys do,
Yeah. Well, did Catherine get... I don't know why. She slightly got on my nerves a little bit in the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, girl, calm down. Calm down. Really?
I mean, I think she kind of forgot that, okay, she has her space and he's coming into this space. So it's like, it's probably more difficult for him,
Of course.
not having, you always tiptoe around people when you're in their space. So
Right.
I'm just like, I think she could have been a little more, sympathetic to that and just maybe... give us some space.
Right.
One drawer is not enough.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was just interesting because she was doing that really passive-aggressive thing of, so you weren't going to do this, were you? Oh, that doesn't really match. Girl, just say it. Just say it.
I mean, he's trying to put a big screen TV. Just take the big screen TV,
Right.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
But she does seem to have control issues is
Obviously.
what I got from, to tonight's episode. But... I don't know. It's something that they probably both have issues that they have to work out. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, leave it to Tess. She's always calling people out right and left anyways, so she's the first one to be like, yo, bestie, you need to calm that.
Yeah, she keeps it real. 100 all the time. I love Tess. I think she's awesome for that.
She's one of my favorite one of my favorite Tesses. I meant favorite characters.
You must know a lot of Tesses.
Yeah, right? Because it's so common.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, but speaking of best friends, JT given advice, which he needs to take his own advice. But whatever. I think it's cute. It was cute to see the two boys. And I don't know why it was so weird to me, but I'm all, wait, Vincent plays video games?
He's a little too old for that.
Like, not even that. I was like, oh, you're so human right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess because I put Vincent on this pedestal of perfection.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with video games, guys. And ladies, I know you guys play them too. I'm personally not a video gamer, but you know, when you have the boyfriend that sits in front of the video for like hours, you're like, oh.
Okay, are you done yet?
Yeah. And I don't know, it was just weird. It was weird to see him. I don't know. I expected from JT.
But not from Vincent?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, they're friends for a reason, so, you know.
Right.
But I am happy that, you know, JT did give Vincent some pretty good advice, I think.
Yeah.
You know, go and talk to Catherine, like... Come on, like be the lover that she you know, she
I
needs.
love the quote. I had it written down. I have it on my secret little board, guys. Okay, be the man she loves, not the beast you fear.
Yeah, that was a
so
pretty hot
poetic.
Quote. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then my favorite, okay, is after that happened, right? Vince comes home and he's got that. He walks in like ripping off his shirt, like I'm about to give it to you. What? Heather. Hi. How awkward.
That was super awkward.
Right?
Like, you know, that kind of always is in the back of your mind because, you know, like we all have like, you know, brother-in-laws and so forth, and to like have that situation is a little weird.
Yeah. But what do you do when your soon-to-be brother-in-law was just fine? I mean, do you peek? Ladies?
No, I
Twitter
hope not.
followers, do you peek? Do you respect your sister?
I hope you respect your sister.
It was an accident.
Yeah, it was an accident. I think they handled it well, though. Like it was awkward for a split second,
right?
But then, it smoothed over. So
well, the whole conversation they had was awkward, but it was cool because it added humor. Because there's a lot of serious things obviously going on in this show.
Yes.
So Heather this season has become the comic relief, but indirectly not even trying to be.
Oh, she's such a sweetheart.
Yeah. But sometimes like both feet are in her mouth at the same time. What? Like when a cat called, you know, and Heather's such a girl. She's so confusing. Don't tell her, but you're whispering loud.
What do you want, Heather?
Right. Right. It's just funny because I'm like, you're whispering loud. And then you got Vincent talking on the phone, and he's not even trying to be quiet about, wait, what am I supposed to say?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah, the whole situation. But I like when they revisited the conversation back in the police car.
In the car, yes.
Yeah. And I think that even though I was saying I was getting upset with Catherine in the beginning because of her, controlling issues, she brought up a lot of great points as far as relationship issues.
Communication.
Yes, and very mature, and knowing the fact that Vincent was hiding something because he was just being weird.
Yeah, he was. I'm like, just talk to her. Like, it's not that difficult, you know? I think guys do that all the time, too. So, totally relatable again.
But it was funny because at the end, one of the things that he did say was, you know, I was just afraid that you would run away. Come on, man. Really?
Just talk to her. I mean, I think at the end of the day, they have a really great chemistry and they have an understanding. I think if he just learns to talk to her a bit more, like, it should be okay. Like, things work themselves out when you communicate. It's that simple.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you just take a hard turn right and you slam your fiance's face into the window.
That was
Classic.
awesome. I was like, yes.
Yeah. Shower? What? You're like,
I was like, yes, that's for all of us ladies out there.
Right. That was awesome. The other thing I really enjoyed about this show too was we were talking about Tess, the JT and Tess dynamic that they had going on. And interesting that they brought her brothers along to be a part of this, you know, short scene or whatever. And I think I already knew that they were going to be these big, beefy, macho men. Because as it is, Tess is a bit of a tomboy.
She is.
We actually got to see her soften up from season 1 to season 3.
She has softened up a lot.
A bit.
Yeah, and then I think too, her introducing JT to her brothers just kind of shows us how serious the relationship is at this point. And I think it's so adorable. I think it's the cutest thing ever.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Well, I did catch at the end of the show, she's wearing a sweatshirt with a periodic table on it, and I thought, oh, that's sweet. But you know, I thought it was really cute that JT, men's logic, if I play these video games and get really good at them, when I go to the shooting range, maybe I can hit a target.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't work at first.
No.
But he was like amazing after a while.
You get him mad.
Oh, he looked like he knew what he was doing. So I mean, I don't know, we could talk about that now, but I kind of thought maybe, you know, these drugs are something serious. You know, what did you think?
I agree. And you know, it's funny because when I first saw the beginning of the episode last time around, and we opened with JT being paranoid and he had the cane and all that was going on, and I thought, oh my god, okay, he's just overreacting. And everybody else thought the same thing too, and they're treating him like, no, JT, no,
Being
oh
paranoid.
sweetie, no, it's okay, you know. And he's like, no man, like something is wrong with me.
up.
And
Yes.
it's finally starting to unfold.
Yeah.
You know, and it's good to see that he's not full of it, and at the same time I still think Tess is talking him down a bit, but from this perspective, from the perspective that she's amorous with him, you know, so she's like, no, give yourself credit.
Yeah.
And I think it's awesome that she's doing that.
She's a supportive girlfriend. And, you know, we all kind of do that. You have to stroke the guy's ego, you know, make him feel great about himself. Because sometimes that's all they need, a little push. You know, he probably does have it in him to be a sharpshooter, amazing at this stuff, but he has to believe in it, you know? So, you know.
You know what? I had read somewhere, one of the producers were talking, and if I said this last episode, I apologize, but the producers were talking about, and I don't remember which one it was, but he was saying that him and Mark really were questioning whether or not they wanted to put the two characters together. And of course, Beasties were all, you know, JT&T, hashtag, blah, blah, and they've been very good about listening to us. And so when they initially put the two together, the one producer that did the interview, whose name I don't remember, I apologize, had said, I was just so hesitant, but then what Nina and Austin brought to the table, the two of them, their chemistry, it blew both Mark and I away and made us go, okay, we're glad we did this.
Yeah.
And I feel like this episode we got to see it more because, you know, let's call it real. It's a unlikely couple to most. They're very opposite. And then when you saw them at the end of the show and they're playing the video game and you see why the dynamic works, you know, they're both giving each other the pep talks. Go be captain, and you can do this and that. And I think JT doesn't have as much of an ego to where, for example, when she got behind him and he was like, you know, show me how to shoot. You know, it's like they have this really nice balance between each other that I like a lot.
Yeah, I think, you know, of course, balance is very important in a relationship. And so to kind of have two people that you would never see together in, like, you know, on a day-to-day, regular day-to-day basis, it's kind of refreshing.
Yeah.
You know, and it gives hope to people who may, you know, feel like this person and I just won't mesh, or, you know, it just kind of reminds you like, hey, anything's possible. You never know. The chemistry can come from all sorts of different places, you know, versus just a physical you know, appeal, or, you know. So I'm really curious to see like what happens in this relationship. I'm curious to see it grow. And also I think it's a little refreshing that you know, we focus so much on Vincent and Kat. It's nice to have another love story involved.
Yes,
Yeah,
I agree. Just to top off the JT and Tess topic, when they were at the shooting range and the brothers purposely putting JT on the spot and giving him this huge revolver that he knows JT is not going to be able to function.
way too big.
Yeah. What blew me away and what I did not expect, because that I saw coming. I saw that one coming before the scene even started, was when the brother called Tess out about the position and was like, well, you know, seeing as how you slept with the old captain. And I went, wow,
yeah.
Really? From your brother?
Low blow.
What kind of family are you coming from? I've heard of brothers and sisters giving each other a hard time, but that was low.
Yeah, I kind of think that triggered, you know, JT, of course, just shooting. And I'm trying to remember if JT knew all along that she was sleeping with the captain.
I'm sure she knew. Or, well, actually, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that actually ever came out at the very end. I mean, we'd like to assume somewhere the friends talked because, you know, friends talk.
Hope
but
so.
Who knows? Who knows? It didn't seem to phase him. What's in the past is in the past. He's in the
True.
present. Who cares?
True.
That's what I say.
He handled that one. And then I just kind of like that he made the brother apologize. Like, you owe your sister apology.
Right.
Yeah.
Boom.
Shout out to you, JT. That was pretty macho. Yeah.
Okay, Twitter followers, where are you? I don't know if my phone, just the battery's dying. So I don't know if it's my phone or if Beasties, are you not tweeting? Because if you are, get on your homework. P.S. We interrupt this television internet show for a brief pause just to say, go on to Podcast One. You can rate our show. There's a banner above. You just click on it and you can tell us how you really feel. Hopefully it's good thoughts. But we will use your feedback and do our best to improve the show in any way we can. Boop. Public service announcement ended. Now for another public service announcement, because you guys know I like to plug stuff. So really quick, the story behind the Twitter handle that I told you guys last time, support your host. So I do a YouTube channel called Boys and Beauty, and I talk about the two most essential things in a lady's life, which is hot men and beauty tips, because we could all benefit from both, right? So take a moment, if you can, subscribe to my channel and follow both of us. It definitely helps out us, the host, and following AfterBuzz on both YouTube and Twitter helps us out a lot so we can bring these fabulous shows to you. Okay, I'm done. Amen. All right, let's talk about Alton, Electricity Boy.
This guy, I don't know. I was like, wait, what? He got electrocuting everybody. And
Yeah, I mean, well, you know what I saw? This is what I saw. I saw Vincent when he probably was first turned into a beast. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, it's the
like
same
just...
thing. You have this... He didn't ask to have this power, and at the same time, he's stuck in a position. At first, I hated him, because obviously, he's killing people, and then you see a fight between him and Vincent very briefly when they walk into the warehouse, and something gets electrocuted and falls onto Vin and Kat, and he escapes. And I'm thinking, ugh, what a douche. Let's get him. And then as the story unfolds, and you hear that it's actually, he's a dying man who just wants a cure.
Pretty desperate at the end of the day, and if you really think about it, Vincent kind of went through the same thing too. So it's like, you can understand. You definitely can understand. But I don't know. He was just, I guess maybe we saw, you know, Vincent's story unfold. So this guy kind of comes out of nowhere and you just think, okay, bad guy, you know. But I'm curious to see, you know, if he's going to, because of course he has the tumor in his head and all of this stuff is happening with him and he's panicking. But I'm curious to see if he's going to actually, you know, be cured. And he's looking for this cure.
Right.
You know, basically killing anybody in the way to find this cure. So I don't know. I guess when you're in a desperate situation, you do anything, you know, to save yourself. So that's what he did.
I agree. I just got called out by Carrie Bear 09 who says, your phone is being mean because we're tweeting. Sorry, you guys are tweeting, so I apologize. Really quick, I want to give some shout outs and read some tweets while we are here. Okay, so Carrie Bear, BATB obsessed. Ruth, awkward. Wait, I missed what's going on. Oh, we're talking about the shower. Everyone's talking about the shower, how awkward it is. Let's see what else you guys are saying here. Do you think the drugs could make JT into a bad guy? Says at BATB obsessed. You know, I don't want to say yes, but it's possible. But here's the thing. Even looking at the gentleman we were just talking about, Alton, he was never a bad guy. Nothing about him was bad, like we just said, and you just mentioned he was a desperate guy. JT, he's a little bit more aware of what's going on, whereas Alton, he has no idea. All he knows is he has a brain tumor. It's getting worse. He's got these weird powers.
He's panicking.
And yeah, his cure that was for him, that was working, was given to JT. You know, and that's a whole nother story we'll get into later, but it's different. Whereas I think JT, knowing everything, his approach would be more so, okay, I have these superpowers. How can I use these to create a cure to make myself better versus going out and just whatever his superpower is, shooting people, you know.
Not to mention, JT's not alone in this.
True, very true.
Whereas Alton has nobody, he doesn't understand what the full dynamic as to what's going on with him. So, you know, he already understands all of the stuff that's happening because of Vincent and so forth. So I think he'll have a better handle, you know, as to how to deal with it if it comes to that. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that, you know, he doesn't turn into a bad guy. But, you know, I think more than likely he'd be able to handle it. And then Kat and Tess and Vincent will be there to support him. So
at Billie Jean Girl 18 says, do you think that JT is gonna go bad like the whole Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing, and what if he shot Agent Thomas? I don't think so.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
though.
I didn't either. But, you know, I don't think he shot Agent Thomas. I think whoever originally created this cure, whomever it might be, they're the ones shooting people. And I don't know how Agent Thomas even got it in the first place. I just know that he was the one who somehow had it in his possession and used it to save JT, because obviously if they saved JT, it was just an in with Vincent and Kat. Like they showed in last episode, you owe me. I saved your friend.
Not only that, I think that they saved him because they want JT to be able to create maybe, you know, an antidote to fix it. I don't know. I just think that, you know, he brings a lot to the table when it comes to dealing with beasts and maybe like, you know, coming up with a cure, you know, versus just them killing off all of them, you know. At the end of the day, these are still innocent people that they drugged, and, you know, unfortunately, they have to try to save them too. So.
Right. And here's the thing. Here's a thought, just random thought. what if, because weird example, but you know how alcohol affects people differently.
Yeah.
When they get drunk, some people are happy drunk, some people are angry, some people are sad, and it just depends. It's the same substance, it just affects people differently. So who knows, maybe this serum is the same thing, which JT somewhat said when he was in the kidnap/hostage situation.
Yeah.
You know, he's going, dude, like, I know you want this serum, but just because it cured me doesn't mean it's the end all be all for you. We're two totally different people.
Not to mention that Alton had a tumor in his brain. So, you know, that could be a reason why it triggered all of this, you know, stuff going on with him. And, you know, JT seems to be okay right now. So maybe the health conditions has something to do with that.
It's quite possible.
Yeah.
Carrie Bear actually also asked if we think maybe they'll add more beasts to the team. I don't know if it'll be beasts per se. And I will say, when I was watching the show, honestly, after the last fight between Vincent and Alton, and you have Catherine talking them down because she is the universal talker downer now.
Sure is.
And we'll talk about the speech too. Great speech. But I thought, okay, when she said, why fight each other? Why not come together and fight?
Team
Who
up.
did this to you? Which is so smart. It's the lady in her. The lady always has the sense.
That voice of reason. Yes.
Yes, and she brought it out, and thankfully they both listened. But I thought that's the direction they were going, and then we see Alton in the hospital bed going for a legit surgery.
So I'm hoping he pulls through, because I think it'd be awesome to have like a beast team, like, you know, running the streets and killing the bad guys. Like, I'm looking forward to that.
Right, and I mean, at this point, we don't even know if there are more beasts now that they focus so much more on the supernatural element, if you will. I don't know if now it's going to be like a superhero squad, you know, with all different, who knows?
Who knows? But I mean, what happened? So the last guy, I think they had him, you know, locked up. I forgot his name from the first episode. That was basically running up the walls.
Yes.
Remember, they have him, so maybe he might be another one to join the team.
Right.
I look forward to a super team. That's just me.
Yeah.
So
I just sent Kat in there. She talks to everybody. Apparently, she's like the psychologist of the entire team.
she's pretty good with it. Yeah.
And I also like, I mean, we brought it up earlier this show, but I do like that when Vincent was having his not so second thoughts, but his own concerns about everything. And she's always there to believe in him, even when he's not believing in himself.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great.
That's why they're the perfect team, you know, like Beauty and the Beast. It's awesome.
And, you know, I thought it was cool too when Heather brought up when she was talking about her fiance and she finally gets to talk to Catherine, and Catherine's like, look, I'm sorry. No, it's fine. I'm relieved. I really didn't even know him, and we didn't have what you and Vincent have. And Heather, even though she was really on the fence about how she felt about Vincent because of everything that happened in season 2, even she can see what their love is capable of, and it's where it's going.
Definitely.
So whenever even big sister has a question or a doubt, little sister can be like, no, what you have is magical.
Yeah, this is amazing love. Everybody wants that fairy tale love.
Yes.
But I do think, you know, ever since Vincent did save Heather, she's been able to see the good in him, and you know, I like it. I like that they're getting along. I don't know if you noticed when she was leaving and she gave him a little peck on the cheek. It just kind of reminded, because I have a brother-in-law, so I'm just like, oh, you know, the relationship is there, and it's good to see all of them getting along like one big happy family. So I love it. Yeah, I totally love it.
You know, I don't know how I feel about this Matthew guy. I think that I talked about last episode in our after show. I don't know why I feel like he's involved in some of this situation, because it was really weird that she being Heather came out to do the whole play with wedding dresses, no offense, thing, and he wasn't there, which I get he's not necessarily a part of, but like, has he even met Catherine? No. It was just, the whole situation was weird, and then for him to dump her because of commitment issues.
You think something's up?
I think something is up.
Fishy.
Something is weird.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I don't know. What do you guys think? Tweet us.
Let us know.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see, what else have I missed? Anything going down the list of situations that happened today? Twitter followers, keep me on track, because y'all know I like to talk, and sometimes I get off track. Random thought of the day. I thought Tessa's hair looked very lovely.
Yes, it was all wavy and curly, right? It's really
we talked about how, you know, she's gotten a little bit softer as from season 1 to now. And, you know, first they started with the brows and then the hair. Now they got the waves. I'm like, okay. Where's the dress? It'll happen.
Hopefully. I would love to see her in a dress.
Yes.
But wait, she had a dress on once or twice.
She has.
Yeah.
But still. A little more often. Or okay, there were a few moments in the other episode, and I'll say in this episode, where I thought JT, while we're on the topic of, you know, being a man and getting his ego stroked, that video game scene where she wrapped her arms, and it was endearing and it was cute, but I just wanted to see him man up since he's going to sit here and give Vincent this advice. Be a man! Go! Ugh. That's all I'm going to say. Ugh.
It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
I mean,
especially
it's happened.
Hopefully with the drugs.
Yeah. I don't know. I would be very sad. I will say I'd be very sad if that did affect him mentally or emotionally.
If he turned to the wrong side.
Yeah. With the whole Tess
Oh,
thing.
my fingers are crossed.
Yeah.
I really like JT. I think he brings like a really like refreshing, and like Tess kind of said it with the whole geek thing she said.
Yeah.
I love his his entire like him being on the show is just perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he's always, up until this Heather moment, this episode, he has been the comic relief. His snarkiness, his sarcasm. It's like when he had said to Vincent, and they're talking about advice in the beginning of the show, and he's like, hello, kettle, meat,
pot.
yeah,
Pot,
yeah.
meat, kettle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Anyhow, okay, so Twitter followers, I haven't gotten any more tweets from you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wind it down unless you can think of anything off the top of your head that maybe I skipped over.
Oh, Agent Thomas. He's
Just a little. Just a
yeah,
little bit.
but I mean, what do you think? Well, of course, he warned Vincent.
About his friend.
I'm curious because they probably had a really thorough conversation
Right.
after that. So I'm curious to know like what he told him.
I will say I was disappointed in Agent Thomas.
Yeah.
And this is why. Because all these things happened. JT, when Alton was trying to get his blood from him and get the cure and this, that, and the third, JT risks his life to save Agent Thomas. Not that anyone's life should not be saved, but he goes through all this trouble to save his life, blah, 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 blah.
Didn't die.
He wakes up. Well, not even that. He wakes up. Vincent goes to talk to him. We need you. Tell us what you know so we can... I don't know anything.
What?
Dude, we saved you and you don't know anything?
Man, oh man, we could have saved the other guy.
Right. Like I said,
No.
everybody's life is valuable. I don't
Yeah.
mean it in a mean way, but I'm just saying it was really disappointing for him to say, I don't know anything, and that's why we got you, is so you can help us. Just stop whatever it is.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping that maybe he gave Vincent a little more insight. Maybe they didn't reveal all of it to us, but yeah, it was definitely disappointing.
Yeah.
I thought he didn't really fight. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know, but we'll see what happens with that.
Well, the last thing I will say about this episode is, we're only two episodes deep, so there's more room. But with this whole engagement and everything, where is the love? Where is it?
We need some love making.
Yes, yes. Hello, celebration.
Okay, I will say this. I'm gonna go back to the first and second season. It took forever for them to merely kiss.
Yes.
So they're gonna have us waiting forever for some more love making.
Not fair at all.
Not, especially because Vincent is so hot,
Yeah.
and then Catherine is so gorgeous too. I think they just make such a beautiful couple. We
Yeah.
love to see them kind of, yeah.
Maybe Vincent will finally buy her some lingerie or
something,
I'm
right?
so over the flannel and the plaid and all that other nonsense while he's shirtless. But anyways, I digress. Let's start getting into our news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
All right, do we have video, and then we also have some pictures. Please do let me know what we are doing first, sir. I suppose we are doing some pictures. Okay, so what I love to do is show people's fan art, because BCs are the most amazing fans, and you guys are truly very, very talented. And over the break, people have been making so many cool little pieces of art. So here is one of them, and I do apologize because some of these pictures I couldn't find names of people who created them. So if you know, tweet them at me, or if it's yours, shout and it's me. Anyways, so here's one. We'll go into another one. The only names that I did get, and I don't know whose goes with whose, so I apologize. Somebody did one. It was Dutch Beastie. Another one was
Ooh.
Oh yeah, hello,
Ooh.
hi. If you are listening to the podcast, you need to watch us on YouTube.
This is so hot. I'm
because
sorry.
it's just shirtless Vincent with a cat. I get it! A cat!
Cat. Yeah.
Or maybe I just made that up. I don't know. Okay, next picture. And yes, I thought that was really pretty too. It's some lightning and all kinds of cool stuff.
Definitely a softer side of Cat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Katrina BR, I think, did one of these. That's some more lovely art coming up. And then I have deviantart.com, who did 2 of the pictures that are somewhere in my lineup. Let's go to our next one. This is really cool because I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm almost positive it is hand drawn or painted, if you will.
Wow.
So, and this one's obviously a drawing, but I thought it was really cool. I'm not an artist. I can paint people's faces, but give me a flat piece of paper and I'm helpless. All right, let's go to our next one. This one is really, really cool.
I love this.
Yes, I don't know who did it. And again, if you are listening to our podcast, it is Catherine, and behind her is a rose. It almost looks like it's slightly bleeding.
Yeah.
But in a very angelic way. Next. Oh, and this was cute. It's somebody superimposed JT on a Rolling Stone cover. And it's Rolling Stone plus Kristin, Kreuk, Jay Ryan, Nina Lisandrello, and then all these exclusive whatever. Anyways, it's cute. It's fun. I like it. So if you have any fan art, the day of the after show, Thursdays before the show, sometime, actually, do it Wednesday night. Tweet me some of your fan art, and then I can always feature it on our news and gossip. So this video is bloopers from season 2, because y'all know I like funny stuff and I like bloopers. So we'll skip here and there, but you can always check it out on YouTube as well. So let's push play.
What happened? My gum came out.
This is beast related?
You didn't know?
No, I didn't. I thought this was anything but beast. That's why I volunteered.
Well, that's a shame. I'm not letting you anywhere near the gem. Jesus.
I thought this was anything but beast. That's why I volunteered.
Well, that's a shame. I'm not letting you anywhere near that gem.
You can't.
It belongs to me now.
I thought this was anything
We can
but
skip ahead a little
beast.
bit because he does
That's
this scene quite a few times and
Well, that's a
messes up
shame.
every single
I'm not letting
time.
you
So
have-
it's quite funny.
Usually don't get in the way. This is odd.
Oh wait, can you rewind just a little bit to that test moment? It was actually
Why?
quite funny. Right,
Absolutely.
a little forward-ish. And we'll just let it play.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Catherine, I know that you don't want to accept that tonight could be our last. But I'm drunk. Oh, I'm sorry. I overheard the boob.
They usually don't get in the way. This is odd.
Hey,
Which is why I will go to the party with Catherine.
Sorry.
What?
I just thought about it for a second. Continue.
Yeah, don't think about it, because then it hurts.
Look, I know that. Sorry.
How's it going?
Are there any questions?
Why did covert affairs kill you off?
They couldn't handle my handsomeness. Next question.
Were you on Heroes?
I was on Heroes.
Okay,
Next
so we don't have to
question.
watch the whole thing, but it's funny.
Well,
It's really
it's
funny.
more.
Just look it up online. Beauty and the Beast season 2 bloopers. You can check it out. In the meantime, while you do that, let's get into our predictions.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
I love how they make it feel like a nightclub while we're giving our predictions. Okay, anyway, let's go into our predictions. Beasties, this is your time to voice your opinion. Tell me what your predictions are. In the meantime, we'll get into ours. Would you like to go first? Would you like me to go first?
I'm gonna let you go first.
Okay, so well, we already talked about, let's see, Heather's boo, who's probably gonna be something bad coming up. We saw the preview for the next episode, and it happened so fast that I didn't really quite
kinda missed
understand
that, yeah.
what was going on. But, God, I feel like we've talked about so many predictions somewhat in our actual review as far as with JT and him not being psycho crazy. Although, I'm interested to see what other couple issues that they will bring up, because I know it's something that the producers wanted to have surface throughout the entire season. So it'll be definitely interesting. Hopefully, too, we get to see a little bit more of Heather maybe meeting somebody else new. I don't know how much her part is going to be in this season.
Well, I think last season she wasn't really there the entire time either.
She booked another show.
Yeah.
And then it got canceled. They brought her back.
Ooh,
Hey, that just means if you have a good relationship with the CW, they love
on
you. You
back.
can come on back. I'm not mad at that.
Hey.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and I think, as much as I don't want to think about it, I do think that we will see a slight turn in JT's behavior. But I think, of course, naturally he's gonna be, he's gonna bring it right back in. I am curious to see how much more Beast they're gonna have, coming up in the future episodes. Yeah. I don't know. I not too many predictions on my end. I do hope that Catherine and Vincent actually finally, move in and make this thing official, and we get to see a little more of a peek inside of their relationship. So,
let's see. Billie Jean Girl 18 predicts that JT will turn evil. I am Sinead, who, by the way, loves that you're representing the Caribbean just like her. He's gonna have a reaction to the serum, good or bad.
Oh.
Wouldn't it be interesting to see JT become super fast or something out of nowhere?
I would love to see him be like superhero. Like, I would love to see him and Vincent like Batman and Robin, like on the field, kicking butt. Like, this is what I want to see. But I don't know. I think they have to put a little spin on it. So I really do kind of see them taking JT and making him be the bad guy for a slight bit, or maybe, I don't know. But
I would just like to see it be him trying to control his powers. Like, let's say it's something crazy and quirky, because he's a quirky personality.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys, this is dating way back, but the old Lois and Clark with Dean Cain, Superman, he played a very awkward, even though he had superpowers, it's one of those things where he would lean up against a car and he'd shoot it and it would go flying across the street. That's the type of dynamic I would love to say JT have. It's not necessarily an evil or whatever. It's more of an awkward, clunky, how do I handle this because this is really weird.
That might be nice. And then maybe Vincent and him could kind of have like a bro training, and like he shows him, or I guess gives him a little more advice as to how to handle his powers. Right. So that would be really neat. Right. Or maybe even him and Tess might have shooting range stuff, and like just some bad kick butt, I don't know, training or whatever.
He'll become an excellent lover. All right. Okay, well, I think that we did a pretty good job of wrapping up this show. So, guys, thank you so much. For those of you who did participate, thank you. And if you are listening to this delayed, make sure you watch us live next week so you can participate with us. In the meantime, have a fabulous week. Don't forget to go onto my YouTube channel, Boys in Beauty with Alikona, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.